Alright, so tonight is a night where I'm typically looking to trade first hour of Asia as opposed to second hour. Typically when New York PM or New York ends with a large move against overall direction, I'm looking to trade the first hour of Asia because the first hour is very often a retrace of that move. Now, if New York ends in a push with overall direction, so let's just say New York ended here, I'm then usually looking to trade the second hour of Asia because the first hour will likely be a retrace of that, and I just want to trade with overall direction. I'm just more comfortable doing so. So yeah, what I'm looking for is buys. Middle time frame, you could say, still bearish, but we're kind of coming into an intersection point, just kind of with this general high time frame range. I wouldn't really classify the high time frame as bullish anymore. Kind of just like this general duration, I'd consider it a range, and I'd consider us forming some structure at the bottom after opening for the day, driving bearish. I believe we took, I guess we took those lows and then began pushing up. So yeah, what I would like is a low time frame continuation. Actually, this is one of the instances where I want to take that low time frame continuation, and I want to enter pretty much right at the start of the hour. It's kind of a set condition for me. I'll definitely look for CBRs in alternative conditions, but this is a condition where like I've kind of isolated a strategy for like its particular nature. For the low time frame, I'm not a huge fan of that right now. Ideally, I want a bit of a bullish trend to form, and yeah, I mean, what I would like is, so we push up, and then so we kind of open like right here, and then immediately drive bearish, snap up, and I just get the enter off of the volume within here. Not even really a proper shift, more of like a just looking at the proportion between the bullish and the bearish tick candles. That's how I take low time frame continuations, and yeah, I wouldn't recommend entering like that otherwise. But for a low time frame continuation, if you're waiting for a shift, you're gonna be entering too late. So yeah, that's what gold's looking like. I guess we can. Oh shit. I guess we can throw some AOIs in here. We have about 20 minutes or 15 minutes until the session opens, so we can go over AOIs. I do already have that 50% retracement drawn. So typically I really like actually trading off daily levels, but not really much to work with here. It's not like I'm going to take a short out of that area. Not even going to mark that. 4 hour, I mean, we're probably not going to get up here, but just mark that out. Throw another one there, even though we kind of already took those lows. I'm not really going to be using that. Yeah, pretty minimal levels to work with, to be honest, just because we had that very directional move. And I just marked 30-minute as hourly AOIs, or hourly levels, so I'll take that 30-minute open close. And yeah, what I really like is that we haven't filled any of this move. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So yeah, consider this. I mean, I'm pretty sure you can go back and look at earlier videos on my channel. This is essentially the LTF continuation high time frame range bound entry model that I talked about months ago. And it is kind of rare that we do get this condition nowadays, but when we do, I really like it. We've got that high time frame range, forming some low time frame structure towards the midpoint of that range, and obviously just kind of overall direction. Still considering that bullish. Yeah, we do have this massive imbalance to fill, but kind of reach a point of irrelevance there when we're only trading the next few minutes. Doesn't really matter that 4 days ago an imbalance was created, but yeah, that's that's the analysis done. So actually, look at DXY, it just opened, looks pretty bullish, or I mean, looks like it opened high. I mean, that looks beautiful for the trade that I want, to be honest. Like a kind of an hourly, roughly an hourly AOI right there. Looks like we have a decent, it is pretty structural actually. Yeah, we do have like a decent little move that could potentially be filled. See, I really like when the DXY's relativity is stacked with good relativity on the gold, right? Obviously, high time frame wise, we're low within the range on gold. We are high on DXY and overextended on DXY. Gold, not so much, just because we do have this middle time frame structure. But I'm okay with trading like against the grain of the middle time frame as long as it is off of external structure. So I'm considering this high time frame range the external structure. If we generate a bit of a low time frame trend within here, which it's looking decent so far, then I'm willing to trade with that low time frame trend against the middle time frame grain a little bit. If there's no external structure, like let's say there's nothing here, and we just have the middle time frame objectively pushing bearish, I do not trade against the grain in that scenario. So yeah, I don't really, I'm not a huge fan of how aggressive that's getting. Let's just make sure we're not gonna touch up on anything here. But I do think that I think we'll rip bullish off of Asia Open, and that's just the downside to waiting for the second hour of Asia in conditions like these, where we end off with a large move against direction in New York, because by the time the second hour of Asia opens, we're like up here, and it's like, well, we don't want to buy, but it can be, I guess that would be a good sell, but yeah, we'll see what happens. I'm just going to cut it here, and we'll get back to this on session open. It's the next day. I forgot to record the actual session, but the trade was, I think it was 21.21 on UTC 0. So yeah, I think it was right within that candle. It might have been 22, but there's a potential trade coming up with this MTF shift. So I think I'll just throw this all in one video. This is super common for New York around 12 p.m. 12 p.m. Atlantic. So, or 12 p.m. Atlantic. So 11 a.m. 11 a.m. Eastern. And yeah, I just woke up, so a little bit dazed, but super common that we get, like when the high time frame isn't overwhelmingly directional, which obviously it isn't. We touch the top of the range, we touch that 4-hour level that we drew up last night, we finally reached it, and then we get this middle time frame shift. I'd consider like we're in a middle time frame range here. Here we kind of break to the upside, strong move to the downside, break that low, and then I'm kind of looking, since we broke this external, since we broke this external low, I'm not really looking to trade with this low time frame trend. I'm looking for that low time frame trend to break. We misaligned out of it into about like 50% of this move down. We'll just kind of see what happens when we get up there. And yeah, I'm looking to take a sell off of that. Now, the reason that I've been consistently taking this particular progressive MTF trade is I used to try to take buys after like this strong middle time frame shift near the top of high time frame structure, because technically we'd still be bullish on the middle time frame. Like we have this kind of range here. We push up, we pull down. I'm like, oh, like good MTF relativity, and we're pretty extended. And I try to buy back into that, and I get fucked up. So now I just look for, like, if it does happen to retrace, I look for that middle time frame continuation, and it's actually incredibly consistent when it does set up. I think yesterday something similar occurred. So yeah, yesterday kind of right around 12 o'clock, begin dumping, and then that would have been an occasion where I probably would have lost if I tried to buy back up into that. But yeah, CBRs, SBRs, session behavior reversals. That's how it is. Fuck. Hopefully, at this point, kind of low volume. I'm not gonna like FOMO into that trend. What I would like to see happen is maybe we open at around like 12 o'clock, candle opens, immediately drives bullish, and then maybe like 7 minutes in, something like that, we get a sell, or it's kind of lower volume right now. Maybe it would be around 15. I don't know. We got 30-minute CBR, and of course that New York SBR. Fuck. Yeah, not much to do right now though. I checked DXY on my phone and it looked favorable. I mean, kind of overall middle high time frame wise, decent positioning. Yeah, really decent positioning. Higher time frame wise, low time frame wise, honestly good too, because we kind of want a little bit of a pullback to assist gold pushing up into its imbalance, and then we want DXY to push bullish and gold to push bearish, obviously. Shit. All right, that's good. But yeah, not really much to do right now. I just need to lock in and actually remember to start recording before taking the trade this time. But yeah. All right, little update. Just ended up driving bearish. Not much of a retrace at all. Something in here looked like somewhat lucrative, but I mean, it was also kind of a shift to the upside. This is a shift to the upside that I would historically have kind of been caught out on, as I talked about before, but that's why I just wait. If that retrace happens, then I'll take a sell. If not, I won't take anything. As for buys now, it would need to be an hourly CBR for me, and it would need to be a break out of like this range. I'd want to be misaligning into the next external, which would kind of be this general high time frame range area. So I'd want to see these lows. I mean, definitely this low. I mean, yeah, just kind of a pull out of this area, and then around like 30 minutes in, a quick little buy back up could be in the cards, but we'll see. I'd want some, like a bit of a decel, because right now we're kind of accelerating into these lows. So I guess we are experiencing a bit of resistance now, but we were accelerating through there. You typically don't want to be trading CT LTF while we're accelerating. So yeah, it'd be nice if this low got broken, but yeah, we'll see. We are getting some buying volume coming in at this point, and it looks lucrative, but I don't know how I feel about it. I guess DXY is near highs. I guess just kind of given the peculiar timing, and the fact that the area is a little bit sketchy. You know, I'd be probably a little annoyed with myself, but I mean, we do have a overextension due to a decel. Holy shit. Alright, that's crazy. That volume's absurd. See what happens here though if we snap up. Alright, so I am trying a quick buy right here. Alright, just got out of that quick scalp. It was looking a little bit sketchy just with the amount of volume that came in on that 30-minute candle. And it's not like our reaction to the upside was disproportionately strong compared to that. I just kind of liked the overall structure. I liked how it looked on the 1 minute. I liked the timing. I didn't mind where we were, of course. And yeah, just wasn't really looking to hold through that 50% once again. And DXY was, yes, looking decent at the time, but I felt like once we got into this area, I'm not expecting it to dump by any means. So yeah, just a quick 1-to-1. And yeah, I guess that's a good example of how things can change just based off of where price goes from the point at which you do your analysis. We ended up pushing to the downside, so there still was an opportunity there once we overextended, saw some proper decel, and stacking that with candle behavior in the DXY. Primarily, I still would have preferred this, and honestly, it's probably still in the cards potentially if we slowly push back up, maybe like get this sort of push here and then begin kind of teetering and then get a strong move like that, probably enter on the pullback. That would be nice, but yeah, that's the trade for today. I guess I can throw in the one from last night. Or was it? I think it was like right here. It's probably, I do like to give this stop a bit of breathing room. It was not a 1.61, so I think actually I entered on this candle. It's probably like that, and then I can even show the night before that. It was 10:51 because we broke to the downside here, and I waited for a bit of a pullback, but we weren't really responding. Stop loss got absolutely edged. Then yeah, this was more of like a 1 to 1.5. Just targeting that. So yeah, last couple of sessions, that's what we've been looking like. Yeah, I guess this is actually a good kind of inverted example of what I was looking for here. Here we broke this low, so I'm now not really trying to trade with this internal low time frame trend. I'm just waiting to break out of it and trade this. That was very similar to here. We're in this low time frame uptrend. We break that high. I'm no longer really looking to trade with this low time frame trend. I'm waiting for it to break. Maybe it breaks, maybe it doesn't. If it doesn't, then I just missed the trade. But we break out of that into an area where I'd expect us to continue the external move. So yeah, that's it. And this could be another opportunity right here. Kind of the trade I was looking for earlier in the day, although we have kind of touched the bottom of that range on our way back up to the top, so it kind of negates the validity of that shift a little bit. DXY pretty extended to the downside. if we get like a strong impulse bearish, I'll probably enter. We already had a bit of a shift near these highs. Want to take those highs and see a disproportionate reaction to the downside if I were to take anything. Man. DXY is not really reacting the best. What's our frequency? Kind of like a 30 minutes. See, this is kind of like overextended. Two o'clock open, push bullish. 3 o'clock open, push bullish. Okay, that was a nice break. Wait to see if we get a pullback here. Okay. Took a sell there. Waited for the pullback a little bit, but kind of just wasn't coming, so just setting the protection orders up right now. All right, here's what we got. I believe it is kind of in there. I do want to maintain a bit of breathing room up top. Yeah, honestly, gonna pull that to about a 0.8. Not really too worried about the RR. I think it's a decent probability setup. It's just there's not like that much room to work with. All right, I just closed that. But yeah, I guess this upload will just be like a little trading montage, trading compilation. Yeah, I've